Welcome everybody to episode number 4 of our weekly behind the scenes vlog that we have here at Tabernacle of God Church. Last week I shared something, one of our church value statements, which is excellence. And I really felt it would be great to continue that, especially with some of the things that we have going on this week. There's always a ton of stuff happening, but one of the things that's very unique that's happening today, which is right now it is 5:18 in the afternoon. I've been here since this morning, not only myself, but our senior pastors as well. And we're still staying here because tonight we have a elders and deacons meeting. And part of those reasons that we have those meetings, and we try to have these as many times as possible, is with this one idea with our church value, which is excellence. And then the way we define excellence is just being 1% better today than I was yesterday for the good of others and for the glory of God. And so last week I kind of messed it up, but this week I want to get it right. I said the application question wrong, but our application question for right now, the way we are pursuing excellence is, am I seizing the 167? See, there's about 168 hours in any given week. And especially when it comes to churches and ministries, we put a lot of focus and attention on that 1 hour that people are in our services or for whatever reason in our classes, and which is great. We have to spend a lot of time and focus on that one area. But there are a lot of people who are just not present every single Sunday, every single week for that 1 hour. Studies show that adults over 50 spend about 4 to 5 hours a week on social media every single week. So that means they're spending 5 times more time on their phone than they are in the service, which is nothing wrong. But how can we as a church better serve and reach and take advantage of the other 167 hours that they're not with us and go to where their attention is in order to teach them, in order to inspire them, in order to reach them, in order to impact and influence their life and provide value? During tonight's Deacons Meeting, one of the themes that I had to share was how are we going to improve our communications in regards to communicating events and communicating classes and helping us to really rethink how to do announcements and not just share what's going on and how, but why. These meetings are always great because we not only get to talk about tactics like the ones that I'm sharing, but we also get to celebrate a lot of the wins that has been happening. You know, this gives an opportunity for every deacon that oversees every ministry to share some successes, to share testimonies. What has happened over the last few months since our last meeting or a few weeks or whatever? What are some things that God has done? So we all can kind of celebrate that. We all can enjoy that win that God is doing. And that just motivates us so much more to not only continue to do what we're doing, but it also teaches us and gives us insight in what each other is doing in order to better complement one another and not compete against one another, in order to be able to see God do so much more together than alone. This idea of seizing the 167 is not just for our ministry leaders and our deacons and elders. It's something that we're trying to incorporate with the youth right now, a lot of our teenagers and high schoolers, even our young adults, helping them to see, look, there's that 1 hour that you attend on a Sunday, but how are you taking advantage? How are you seizing the other 167? What are you doing with that 1 hour throughout the other 167 hours that you have? Obviously discounting the ones you're sleeping, but what are you doing to live it out? What are you doing to pursue God more? What are you doing to think? What are you doing to continue to think and to meditate on what God has shared? The more you stretch that church hour throughout the week, the more we see God work in our lives. And that's what we want our middle schoolers and high schoolers to learn. I want to end today by asking you and encouraging you to think, how are you seizing the 167? And that could be in anything. Maybe when it comes to your job, and that 167 can be different. So if you, let's say for your family, you know that you have maybe 2 hours, 3 hours where your kid is at home after school before they have to go to bed. And so there's that 2 hours. And so how can you seize a few minutes to have a memorable moment with your kid during those 2 hours? But then how are you seizing the other 22? Are you praying for your kid when they're not around? Are you planning on something that you want to do? Are you looking for a devotion? Or are you coordinating something in order to, whatever it is, like how are you taking advantage of the time that you're not with your kid, that you're not with your spouse, in order to maximize even those moments that you are together? Sometimes our view of things is very small, and when you get to see that big picture, you realize just the little things that you can do that will add up to make a big difference. That's what it means to seize the 167. How are you going to do that this week?